Hello, welcome back to my channel at Shadow Resistance. Today I want to show you guys how I created this epic scene using three AI tools. Well, technically two AI tools and a few other tools that you can download, but of course you would have to pay. So first I'm going to show you, also, feel free to check out my website. It's shadowresistance.com. And on here, you'll find you'll find videos that I posted for Bear the White Dove, as well as how I created it, created that, how I created the first episode. You'll also see or find more information about what my company, what we are, where our name comes from, and of course you'll find episode for some other videos as well, a podcast that I also have, and you'll find more information on each character. And as I post more episodes um, for the show, for Bear the White Dove, there'll be more information on newer characters as the series continues. So first, I used Midjourney to create the character, and I briefly talked about this in another video as well as my podcast and the blog. But I just kind of want to show you the workflow of basically my workflow. So first, I want to show you all a picture that I used for the first character. So this is Doriga, the main character. This was her when she was, I would say, 5. And this is basically how the story starts, is with her at a young age. Now, I want to show you guys 3 photos that I used. So the original photo that I used was this right here. Now, this is actually not, obviously, this is not an AI generated video. This is actually a real life photo of the inspiration of the character Doriga. This young lady is Aliyah Moldagova, and she was a teenager. Well, technically, she was a young woman who fought in World War II for the Soviet Union. She is from present day Kazakhstan, and yeah, she was a sniper in World War II. And I basically wanted the main character to have a similar likeness to her, not the exact same physical appearance, but very similar, because I wanted the main character to have like a ethnic, well, excuse me, have a my ethnic minority background, if that makes sense, of the area that she was living in. And here is another picture, which actually is really, again, based off the other picture I just showed you. This is just one of the AI generated images from Midjourney. And same thing with this. This was also, I ended up not using this picture because I didn't like the hat in the uh, in the generated photo, but I wanted the likeness of this character as well, and this is what I got. And the prompt I used was create a dark fantasy image of a 5-year-old girl with long braided hair. Era 1930s, setting Russia, style realistic, capturing the innocence and charm of childhood in that time period. She looks as if she is poor. So I will be honest and say that although I did type out a prompt, this was actually not the prompt that I typed out originally. This was actually the prompt that was generated from Grammarly Pro, which I'll talk more about later on. But I also wanted to create another image of the same character, but I wanted her to be older. So if we scroll up here, I'm just going to show you which picture. So basically, and I'll show you the prompt, but basically, I was trying to find the perfect picture for the character, because what I was trying to do is I'm trying to look for a picture that would be realistic to showing the older age of the young girl. I didn't want to have like 3 completely different images of someone, I didn't want it to look like 3 different people, different ages. I wanted it to look like 3 ages of the same person. So it took me a while to kind of find which would be the best picture, or yeah, best picture to use as the basis for each for the story. And I'm trying to see, I think it was this one. Yeah, no, it wasn't that one. There was actually another picture here. No. Okay, give me a second. I think it was this one. I want to say it was this one. They all look similar, but yeah, it was probably this one. Yeah, I think it was this one. Let me go to vidu really quick and double check because no. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say for now it was that one. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to find. Yeah, so I'll just say for now it was this one. It looks very similar. Um, so again, use the same image from before. Actually, I used two of the same images as before, and this time I used a slightly different prompt. Create a dark fantasy of a 16-year-old girl with long braided hair, era 1930s, setting Russia, style realistic, capturing the innocence and charm of childhood at that time period. So basically, the only thing I changed for this prompt was just the age. Um, so that was basically how I got. I just wanted to show you how I was able to generate an image for that character. So when it came to that particular scene that you saw, with that particular image that I just showed you, I went ahead to vidu, and with vidu, if I can show you, what I did is that I wanted to create an image or I wanted to create a video of the 16-year-old girl, the main character, Doriga, shooting a sniper. Now, just this is going to be somewhat of a spoiler alert or a disclaimer, but where we left off in the last episode was basically her joining, looking as if she was joining the military. So I'm not going to go into detail about what's going on in this scene, but what I will show you that it does involve the main character shooting a rifle. So I wanted to create, based off, and I want to be careful because again, I don't want to spoil the story, but I wanted to create a scene where she was shooting a rifle, but I wanted to add some dramatic into it. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So this was the video that we got. Now, just real quick before I play out the video, basically this is what the prompt reads. Now, again, I did type out a prompt of what I wanted, but this was not the prompt that I originally typed out. This was actually a prompt that was generated from Grammarly Pro. And you may be wondering why I'm using Grammarly Pro. It's simply because Grammarly Pro, I feel like, does a good job of capturing what it is I'm wanting to portray. Like, I could put my own words into it, but I just feel Grammarly Pro does a better job describing what's in my head. So that's why I use it. In fact, I can actually show you here. Let's see. Now I'm going to see if I can find a particular prompt here. No. Okay. Here we go. So my original prompt was create a prompt for an AI video generator. Create a video of a 16-year-old Kazakh girl competing in a military competition. She is given a faux, and that should really say rifle. I'm not sure why I put sniper on there, but faux rifle, and shoots at a target perfectly. So Grammarly AI was able to generate a better worded prompt. Create a video depicting a 16-year-old girl in a military competition. She stands confidently aiming a faux sniper rifle at a target. With precision, she takes her first shot and hits the target perfectly. Capture the intensity of the competition and her focus. So, I wanted to include in there, as you can tell, the era is 1940s, and this is in Russia, because I feel like when you add more context to the setting, vidu, well, I'm sure any video generator, but particularly vidu, would do a good job of depicting the historical accuracy of what it is I was wanting to portray. So here is the video of Doriga shooting the sniper or rifle. Like, let me play that again. See, now that wasn't so bad. And let's see if I can show you another one here. Okay. Okay. Again, that one was a good video. And I'm not sure if this is the same one. Okay. So you kind of get the idea here. So those videos were not bad. However, what I wanted was to add more drama into the videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward and see if I can find that video. Okay. So, I mean, there's actually a lot here, but I'm going to go ahead and start with this one up here. Now, really quick before I show you. So, what I found, and I actually kind of found this method when I reached out to the vidu Discord community and asked how I could get vidu to generate a video of another angle of the same scene. Now, actually, to be honest, I wasn't even trying to get this shot. I mean, this wasn't even with regards to the main character shooting a rifle. It was really for another scene that I was trying to, you know, basically get a better world building perspective. So, but I'm sorry for a completely different scene. However, what someone told me in the Discord community, one of the moderators, he or she, I wasn't sure, but just for time, he recommended that I add the words rotate full circle to get the camera to rotate full circle, literally, to show the other end or the other side of I guess the area, the scene, or whatever you would call it, the place. So I decided to use that same approach when it came to creating a different prompt with regards to Doriga shooting a rifle. So this prompt was actually generated by Grammarly Pro. Actually, no, let me go ahead and go to Grammarly Pro again, and I can show you what my original prompt was. Let's see here. Nope, that's for a different one. Video. Okay, so I'm not sure if this was the same one. It probably was. Hold on. Another thing about Grammarly is that it does a good job showing the mood of or showing you different prompts based off the mood you're going for. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it was this one. I cannot... oh no, that's actually not even close to the same one. Let's see. Trying to look for that. Okay, so I'm not able to find the prompt. I'm sure it's there. But basically, this was the prompt that Grammarly Grammarly put together. Create a video depicting a 16-year-old Kazakh girl in a military competition. She stands confidently aiming a faux rifle at a target. Ensure the camera rotates around her, providing a full 360-degree view, including a moment where, with precision, she takes her first shot and hits the target perfectly. Capture the intensity of the competition and her focus. This era is in 1940s, and this is in Russia. So now that I think about it, I think this was just a combination of a few prompts that I got from Grammarly for a few other scenes. But either way, I wanted it to, again, I wanted to add the 360-degree view and the camera rotating to add more drama to this scene where she's shooting a sniper, or sorry, shooting a rifle. I need to stop saying sniper. So anyways, here is the video that vidu generated. So that's actually pretty good. Let me show it again, because now, as you can tell, she doesn't, the camera doesn't really rotate, actually doesn't rotate 360 at all, but the camera does move, and it does give a dramatic feel to it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a few other videos. Okay, that one's not too bad. I don't think realistically that's how people would hold a rifle, but regardless, again, the camera moving like that does give a realistic, dramatic view. Okay, now this is more of what I was looking for as far as rotating 360, although it looked like it rotated more like 180, but still wasn't bad. Okay, you see, and again, that one does show a bit of a dramatic scene, and I'm just going to show you a few more here. All right, so you get the idea here. In fact, let me show you this one, because I think this was one of the ones I picked. Okay, no, it wasn't. That one was not realistic whatsoever, because she immediately shoots as soon as she gets up. Okay, so you get the idea here. So I wanted to go ahead and, I mean, they were all, for the most part, they were all pretty good. And you notice how the camera angle just moves as she's shooting. And then you also see her focus, her eyebrows, like, I can't think of the word, but pretty much pinching down, and you see her concentrating as she's shooting. So what I did is that I downloaded a few of these videos, and I went ahead to my editing tool, which is Adobe Premiere Pro, which I thought I had that up, but I'm going to go ahead and put that up right now. Okay, so all right, so what I did is as I mentioned before, I did take a few of those videos, and I wanted to put them together, and without the music, this is what we got. So I want to show you guys how I was able to get this video right here. So what I've been doing is I've been utilizing Adobe Photoshop Pro. Sorry, Adobe Photoshop, not Adobe Photoshop Pro. But I utilized Photoshop, and what I did is that I basically took the last picture, or excuse me, basically took a screenshot of one of the videos of people standing in the shooting competition. And what I did is that I basically edited out, and I can't remember if it was Dorigo or somebody else, but I basically edited out someone or something, and I used it as a background that I would input into vidu. In fact, I will show you here how I did that. Now just bear with me, because I've actually done this a few times already. I tried to record this video a couple times, and I've kind of ran into some issues, so I'm just going to go ahead and try doing this again. Just give me a quick second here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and use an example here. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to open. I'm going to go to photos. I actually save my photos in either the download folder or the um, or like one of the other folders you just saw there. But I also keep them in my photos folder. All right, now here is a picture of Doriga, and she's standing there, and I think this is from the last video that I just showed you from that scene. So what I want to do is I want to create a picture or a background picture of the targets that Doriga is shooting at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this photo from the screenshot from the last video, and I'm going to go ahead and use the lasso tool. And I'm going to go ahead and just circle around Doriga. You could also use the rectangle tool, but I found that lasso is better and it just gives you more of an accurate cutout. Now, I will say with Photoshop, when I've used this tool, there have been times where it does remove the wanted object, but there's also times where they'll add a completely random object, which kind of defeats the purpose of using a lasso tool to begin with, because I was wanting nothing there. And then there's also other times where it will just, if you don't write a prompt, it'll probably give you a completely different image of what it is you're wanting. Like, for example, I had one where I was trying to cut out a particular person in a animated school hall or school hallway, and what Adobe Photoshop did is that instead of creating the lockers or whatever it is you would see in a school hallway, it turned it into like a gym or something. And I was like, that's not what I was looking for. But in this particular case, we got what we wanted here. This is what I wanted. Let's just actually know what I'm going to do as well. Let's see if we can take out these people here, because when the targets are being hit, I don't want people standing around there, because obviously that's dangerous. But let's see what Adobe will do if I request to have these people removed. Okay, so that's not what we're wanting, because now it looks like they're in a beach somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and just do undo. Okay, so this is good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this. We're going to have to save it as a PDF file. Now, if you use Adobe already, you already know how this works, but I'm just showing you how I generate a very similar photo, or generate a very similar video for the scene that I'm going for. I'm just going to go ahead and put example 3, because again, I've done this a couple times and I ran into some issues doing this video. I'm going to save it to my Songs of Hebron franchise. Now, just a disclaimer, there's so much more to the story. Like, there's just so much more. This story took, like, I would say probably more than 10, no, I don't want to say more than 10 years, but around a little less than 10 years for me to write, because it wasn't just a story about Doriga. There's just so much here that I'm excited to share with you guys. So that's why this folder is under a different name. And again, that's just a disclaimer. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but there's definitely more to come. All right, so I'm going to go click out of this for one. So I'm going to go to that folder that I just saved that in. Oops. We'll leave that out. And I'm actually pulling this out of another screen that I have here, so just bear with me a few moments. Let's see, where was it? Or maybe it's right here. Okay, here it is. All right, so this is the PDF file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to export this as a PNG file, because with vidu, and I believe Midjourney is the same way, it's not going to be able to generate an image or video with a PDF file. So it has to be like a picture file. And I'm pretty sure JPEG would work, but I just gotten used to using JNG or PNG. I'm not sure if it really matters. Now that's going to automatically save in the same folder. So I'm going to go right back here. Now, just a disclaimer, as you can tell, I'm using a Mac laptop. So, I mean, this most likely... So basically what I'm showing you is how you would do this if you had a Mac or, you know, a Mac computer. I don't know the process. I don't know how the process would be if you had a PC. So just want to let you know in advance. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and type up another prompt. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the exact same prompt that I did before. Well, actually, I'll just go ahead and type up a prompt just for the sake of this video. All right. So I'm going to add in the images. Now, I've also tried adding in references. I'm still learning the difference between references and images when it comes to using this particular feature, the reference to video feature, as opposed to image to video. But I'm going to just go ahead and add the photo, and then I'm going to go ahead and type create a video of bullets hitting targets. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add on here bullets from one rifle hitting targets. Ensure that no one is standing near the targets. This is taking place in a shooting competition in a military tournament during the 1930s, taking place in Russia. Now, I'm going to show you some examples of what I got, and the reason why I am typing up the prompt this way with so much detail is because, and I'll show you this, but basically I didn't get what I wanted to get. The first couple times I've typed up the prompt, and I'm thinking about doing a video about this, but I've learned that when you're typing a prompt, there's a lot of engineering that goes into it. You're not just describing what it is you're wanting. I've learned that it's almost like an equation. So you're adding the action request, which is in this case, create a video. And then you're also explaining what it is that you're wanting this AI generator to do, which kind of goes hand in hand with the action, create a video of bullets, etc., etc. And you also have to add context to what's going on, and that will better help the AI generator to basically generate what it is they think that you want. So I found details are very important, but I've also found that there can be too much details where it will show you stuff that you don't need in the particular video. So it's a lot. It's complicated. It's definitely time trial and error kind of thing. It's going to require you to do a lot of testing. As in some cases, it could actually cause you to spend a lot of credits trying to get the exact video you want. But see, this is what I was talking about in my other video when I talked about how I created the first episode of Bear the White Dove, when I said you just have to go with the flow sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have to pick a video that may not be 100% of what you're wanting, but you're going to have to make it work because you can't just be spending credits to get the exact video you're wanting. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Is it going? Hold on. Let me move me out of the way. Create. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, So this is not what we're wanting at all. But it is showing other people shooting. Oh, okay. Well, that's not what we're wanting at all. So I'll just go ahead and show you what it is that we got, or what it is that I got. So give me a second here. I'm just gonna keep going. All right. So I'll go ahead and show you, and I think this was the first one. Well, actually, let me show you this one. So this was one of the first videos that vidu generated, and the prompt here: create a video of a dummy-like targets. Oh, excuse me. Create a video of dummy-like targets being hit by bullets. This is for a shooting competition in Russia. Era is in 1940s. Show that this guy show that there is no one standing around the target. So again, I typed that because if you look at the other video, well, yeah, there was that, which I didn't really. And there were these. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you see how there are people standing behind the targets. So this is what we get with that prompt. So I don't know if you could tell, but for me, I just felt like it looked like there was basically a whole gun shower going on, like multiple gunshots coming from multiple guns, and that's not what I was going for. So I had to go and add, and I'll just use this one because this is what I ended up using. Create a video, and again, same thing, dummy like targets, blah blah blah. Make sure nobody's standing around, and I think I added being hit by single bullets. Now, I mean, besides, that person or dummy like thing just disappearing, this was basically the best video that I thought we could use. I'm not entirely sure. In fact, I don't know at all, I should say, if in Russia back in the 1940s, when there really was military competitions, that really was a thing there during World War II. I'm not sure if the dummies actually looked like this, but then again, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it did because it was the 1940s. But as you can tell by the video that I showed you, this was the best video. I mean, this was the video that I chose. So I want to go ahead and show you the other video that I chose, showing Duriga basically putting down the gun. And see, AI doing AI, because realistically nobody's holding a gun like that. And then there's that. So, I mean, look, the point is here is that, see, so, I don't think I'll be able to find that video, but it was the same thing, same process, and that is basically what we came up with, or what I got, and what I decided to use for the video, the scene where she lowers her weapon. Maybe it was this one. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure you get the picture, get the idea here. So one last thing I want to show you is how I chose the music. So I use Artlist.io for cinematic music. I'll be very honest, I'm only using Artlist.io for music. I'm not using it for sound effects or voiceovers, or AI image or video generation, because I already have tools for all of that. I may consider looking into voiceovers just so I may consider using this for voiceovers just so I can have more variety. But for now, I'm just going to use it for music. And basically what I did here, and this is kind of self-explanatory, but what I did is I went to genre. Cinematic was really all we were wanting. I wasn't looking for anything else. Um, and then as far as the mood goes, I wanted us to be epic and uplifting. Now, I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I'm not sure if I'm gonna find the exact song that I chose, but that's basically how I found the song that I chose. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I could put Control F and no, that's not okay. Okay, like nigga. She. Well, that was the name of the artist. So, anyways, let me just go ahead and show you the name of the song that I chose. So I'm gonna go back to. Wait a second. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and click here, and the name of the song is Like Powell by George Nishigomi. Okay, I was wrong with the last name, but I just felt like this song was the best song for this scene. Now, keep in mind, I didn't just immediately choose the song. I actually ended up, skimming through different songs in that genre. Um, and let's go back here. And I mean, emphasis on the word skipping. Like, I didn't listen to every single one. And the ones I did listen to, I didn't listen to the entire songs. I literally just skipped through and listened to. You see these white bar, swipe bar right here? That's basically what I did. And basically, how I chose which songs were best was by seeing the intensity of these white bars. So if I'm seeing some that are like looking like this, probably not the best option. But also, I do want to show you, I did get help from Chat GPT, and let me tell you what I mean. Because I've been using Chat GPT for a lot of things, and this is one of them. So I'm gonna move that there, and let me see if I can find the prompt. Best fonts, hashtags, character. Okay. Oh, here we go. Cinematic music for shooting. So, that was this one, right? Okay. So, just going to go all the way up. Okay, so it's going to show you right here. Top. What is the best cinematic music for a scene of someone acing a shooting competition? And this is what ChatGPT came up with. And what really helped was this right here. Heroic, triumphant, orchestral. Best for emphasizing the competitor's skill, control, and glory of hitting every target. Examples. And listed examples. Obviously, I can't use Hans Zimmer. I would love to, but, I can't. And then there's this one right here. Modern percussion action. Electronic synthwave. So, obviously, I wanted to go with Heroic, Triumphant, Orchestral. And I wanted to show you there's something else here. Well, I guess it's not going to show. Let's see if you're going for stylish house. Or maybe it wasn't here. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you right here. Build slowly to a powerful emotional climax. So I wanted to find a song that did exactly that. That was not obviously Hans Zimmer. So that was another way of how I found the song, is I wanted it to intensify as she picked up her rifle and shot. So that's basically it. Now, I will say this: I am still working on as you can tell, I'm still working on the second episode. I still have quite a bit of ways to go, but I'm just gonna say this: I'm almost done. It's just taking so long to create an episode that's literally gonna be only a few minutes. And the reason why is because this is a combination of creativity and engineering. And it's like, I'm trying to figure out what is the best scene, or what is the best scenes to include in the story, which are the scenes to leave out. Because again, I've been writing this for a while. In fact, I even put together a whole screenplay and everything. and I'm finding that I'm barely using the screenplay. Like I'm having to revert back to memory of what it is that I'm wanting to display in these scenes, in each scenes. And of course, being that they're all 4 minutes long, that's, oh sorry, 4 seconds long, that's also a challenge, because it's like 4 seconds the camera's going in different directions and different angles and all that, and it's like I'm trying to like find the best videos depicting what it is I'm trying to portray, and they're only 4 seconds long, and I'm going to need multiple videos that are 4 seconds. So it's it is a challenge, but I am definitely still working on this, and I'm very, very certain that I'm going to find more of time a less time consuming workflow, a workflow that's a lot more efficient. But until then, this is the process I'm going to keep doing. Episode 2 is coming out very, very shortly. It's just going to take me some time. Um, and yeah, so that's all I have today. The video is about 40 minutes long, but I hope you gained a lot from this. And let me know if you're creating your own short film or your own series. And let me know what your process is and what other tools you're using. I don't see myself using any other tools at this point, but I am curious to know and very interested to know what other tools you guys are using and how you like it. But yeah, in the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I would love to get your thoughts on this whole process. And let me know if you want me to create more content like this. All right, in the meantime, you guys be blessed.